Hey everybody, why So Wookie here. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Pubg Pick'em Challenge. We're going to go through the best teams to pick with your coupons, as well as the best teams to pick for the face-off challenge. If you enjoy the video and find this information useful, consider liking, subscribing to see more, and let me know in the comments below, did you choose any teams different for this, and if so, what was the reason for that? And also, what do you think of these Pick'em challenges? I quite enjoy them, and I hope you all do too. So let's jump over. So if you're not aware, the Pick'em Challenge takes place in the esports tab, so we'll navigate over there right now. Now the first thing is the team face-off. So in the team face-off, going in the APAC region, I chose MSC over Cerberus because at the time of voting, MSC is on 92 points, whereas Cerberus was on 63, so it's a good 30-point lead there. Then the next team I chose Buriram United Esports opposed to Division X because Buriram had 131 and Division X had 118. So again, a good 20 odd point lead there. The next team I chose was Fury at 128 over Victim Rise, which is 99. And then finally I chose the Battle Arena Elites over Archangel, as the Battle Arena was at 119 and Archangel was at 75. Next up, in the Asia region, I chose T1, as they were currently leading the pack on 148, whereas Infantry was at 135. Now that is only a 13 points difference, so it's not a guaranteed one. But again, you've got to go with the best pick, as the last day of voting tomorrow is the 7th. I think it technically ends on the 8th, but depending on your time zone, the 7th is the best time to do it, because all the games are played now. The next one I chose the Champions over the other team because Champions won 105 and the other team was on a 90. Next team I chose Sunstar over Global Esports. Now these two are very close together. Sunstar is at 55 and Global Esports on 43. Both of them are in the bottom 8 teams, so that could change. But again, went for the best option. And the next one, I chose OGN Entus over Tiamba because, again, they were beaten by a margin of 10. In Europe, I chose FaZe Clan because, again, they were leading the pack on 144, whereas Team Liquid was on 105. So, I mean, they're already 30 odd 40 points ahead. Next team, I chose Natus. They were in the top 8 at 101, and Northern Lights is stone dead last on 51. So, again, a good pick there. Then I chose TSM, who was on 96, over Raise Your Edge, which were 81. And then finally, I chose Ents over Omicron, because Ents was on 118, over 106. So again, not the biggest difference, but again, still a bit of a lead. And then finally, in the North American region, I went for Shoot to Kill on 142, Oath on 128, Sonics on 178, who were 30 points above anybody. So in those three teams, they're all the top 3. And then finally on the other ones, it was the Houstons over the Comets. Both of them were quite low, but Houston had 82 over 70. So that's that. Now, if you vote the same way that I did, maybe with slight differences, you get about 55,000 points, which is enough to buy something out of the esports store once this is all concluded, and that's without having to make a purchase. Now, for those players who do want to make a purchase, then we'll move on to the next game. So in the APAC region, how do you get your coupons first, for those who don't know? So if you buy any of the PCS2 items out of the store currently, you'll get the item as well as a coupon. Now, if you buy all the items, you'll have a maximum of 8 coupons, which means you get 2 choices basically in each region. So you've got a very good chance of then getting the winner correct and therefore getting the most XP to buy the items. Now, you don't necessarily have to buy everything to get them. I think if you was to have 2 coupons plus your team face-offs and both your coupons are 1, you'd be able to buy everything in the store. But I just tended to get everything because I liked all the items this time, to be fair. Now, in the APAC region, the team that I chose was, as my first choice, was Divine Esports, who were on 158 points over Buriram, who I chose as the second, who were on 131. They've both been playing really well. I was watching them in the final set of games today, and it was basically them leading the way. So I don't think any of them's going to fall down. But a good two choices there. Now, if you only had one coupon to spend here, I would definitely go for Divine over Buram. And again, just because of that lead that they currently have. In the next region, I chose T1 and Infantry. Now, T1's leading at the minute on 148. Infantry is actually in third place on 135, and it's Triumphant Song who's on 138. Now, the reason I chose Infantry over Triumphant Song is because if you remember back to PCS1, I think Infantry either won it or came second. So I know that they can turn it around, whereas Triumphant Song didn't compete in the last PCS1. So that's why I took a bit of a punt on Infantry. They are only 3 points behind them. But if T1 aren't going to win, I would put my guess on Infantry. But again, if you had one coupon to spend in this one, I would go for T1. Next, in Europe, I went for FaZe first, who are on 144 points. And then I just went for Shift W on 126, who were in second place. Nothing really out of the ordinary there, just the top two picks. But again, FaZe Clan is about 20 points ahead, so if you're just going to pick one, I'd go for them. And then finally, the final region, which is North America. I went for Sonics in first, which is 178 points, and then Shoot to Kill, who are second at 142. Sonics is the obvious choice, 30-odd points ahead. And Shoot to Kill is just the second place. And again, they're 20 points ahead of third place. So 2 easy picks there. Now, if you were only going to go for 2 coupons, which is the minimum to get everything, assuming the win, the 2 that I would go for is Sonics, because again, 30-point lead at the minute. Unless they have a disastrous final week, they've pretty much got it in the bag. And then the second one that I would go for is in the APAC region. I would go for Divine Sports, and they're 20 points ahead of Buram. I don't think there's going to be any other real contenders in that one in the APAC region now. Fury potentially could catch up to Buram, but Fury are literally 30 points behind Divine Esports. So I think the most that they'd be able to do is push to second. So if you was to use 2 coupons, I would go for Divine Esports in the APAC region and Sonics in the North American region. Now, once this is all concluded and you get your points, the items that you'll be able to get are as follows. So you pop over to the esports store. Now, if you only did the free one and you didn't go for any of the coupons like I did, and you voted the same way I did, and they all come in correct, 55,000 will buy you basically a one of anything you want, or if you go for something a bit cheap, you can get a couple of t-shirts. But your different options are the Gilded Car 98, which is a really cool skin. The Gilded Triumph Mini 14, another cool one. You've got the Fierce Conflict G36, quite like the orange on there. You can go for the PCS2 outfit. Now, this is a cool outfit. I'm not particularly fond of the shorts. The trainers are fine, but I really like the detail of the red on the back of the hoodie. Really cool on that one. You have the PCS2 gear set, which is the helmet, which is pretty cool, and also a really cool backpack there as well. Very cool. You've got the All-Star Pubg t-shirt, which has got some writing on there. I think it's Chinese or Korean or something. You've got a purple one. And again, these esports t-shirts are quite cool as well. It'll be the only time you ever get to get them, I would imagine. You've got the yellow one. I quite like the yellow one in Game Leader. And then finally, you've got the 3 t-shirts, which are also the same 3 as last time as well. This is a second chance to earn these ones. They're only 10,000 each. So if you've got, say you ended up with 60,000 or whatever, if you change the vote slightly, then you might get one of these as well. And that's it. So that's everything you can earn. They're the votes that I chose. And like I say, if you find this video useful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to everything with PUBG. But also leave a comment if you did vote differently and let me know why you did that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Wookie out.